Well, it was only a matter of time before the media chimed in on, the Star Wars celebration, Rey returning, the Mandalorian situation for Star Wars. Of course they were going to. This is an article from Variety, and it's very comical. So we'll dive into this today, ladies and gents. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Please do turn those bell notifications on. But let's check this out. So, of course, Star Wars Celebration happened across the weekend. So, like 4 or 5 days ago now, across Easter weekend in London, UK. And amongst it, there were lukewarm announcements. Barely anything was really announced at all, in fact. And you even have, articles from the Hollywood Reporter. Star Wars behind Lucasfilm's mostly risk-averse movie bets. It's like, yeah, they didn't really do anything, to be fair. I mean, this is supposed to be the highlight of Star Wars Celebration. And it was nothing. It was a whole lot of nothing. And half of those things probably won't get made anyway. But like I said, it was only a matter of time before the media chimed in. Because one of those things was Rey returning. And of course, The Mandalorian has been going downhill. Season 3 is not as well received as Season 1. Definitely not as well received as Season 2. Even though that season declined in relative quality here and there. This has been an absolute nosedive for Star Wars. That was their shining light, and The Mandalorian was something they could always rely on. Grogu, merch sales, etc. And then boom, nothing. So, what do they have to say? Well, make no mistake, they do of course comment on racist backlash. But anyway, we have this. So, on almost any other day, a train car full of Mandalorians, Grand Admiral Thrawns, Ahsokas, and Obi-Wans may have seemed strange. But for 4 days of Star Wars Celebration, this was the norm on the 8 AM DLR train, even before you step foot inside the Excel Centre in East London. The Star Wars community was well represented, with people of all ages and ethnicities cosplaying as their favourite characters. Again, yeah, because no one... It is literally all ages. Everyone's welcome. But of course, if you need a reminder that sometimes fandoms can be good, Star Wars Celebration is it. Without the racist backlash against new characters played by people of colour. Where was that? Or interminable hate tweets about specific movies. That's right, ladies and gents, you can't dislike a movie. Otherwise you're bad fandom. The event showcases the fandom at its best as a joyous, inventive, inclusive, and delightfully weird affair. A place where you're as likely to stumble upon a mob of prison-attired fans chanting One Way Out in unison as you are to witness an Orson Krennic striptease. Interesting. Anyway, like I said, this is the norm that we have for this kind of nonsense. But this is where they try to frame it as, well, people can still have opinions, just not on black people, basically. Because there's literally what they say. You can't have an opinion on casting and new characters. That's apparently just racism. I don't think anyone was. The only people that were racist towards John Boyega was Disney in terms of their China release posters. It wasn't the fandom. People really liked John Boyega, actually. But never mind. So anyway, but that's not to say, however, that fans don't come prepared with opinions about the future of the franchise. Arguably, the biggest announcement at this year's Star Wars Celebration was the return of Daisy Ridley's Rey, who will be rebuilding the Jedi Order in one of 3 new films. The reaction to the reveal in the room was eclectic, but some fans remain mixed on the idea. We've seen Rey in quite a bit of content, and I feel like we got to see what we needed to see from Rey's story. Yeah, I was begging for more at the end of her trilogy, said someone else. Claire Elizabeth Roberts, I like Rey, but I'd rather have had John Boyega back because he was absolutely wasted. Yeah. But anyway, so the lukewarm feelings may stem from The Rise of Skywalker conclusion, which saw Ridley's heroine take on the name of the franchise's most famous Jedi. I don't need them to call her Rey Skywalker or anything other than Rey in the new movie. Isn't it amazing how they're not lambasting these people? Bit of a double standard anyway. However, many fans agree that the new, as yet untitled film, set to be directed by veteran filmmaker Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who's an activist, renowned activist, is a chance to correct past storytelling mistakes. In pop culture right now, a lot of what stories are doing is redeeming things that haven't always been told well, said Terence Crawford, who was dressed as Han Solo. This is going to be Rey's redemption. How on earth do you think that? So again, there was more people about, you know, Ahsoka and things. People were like, oh, you know, I'm pretty hyped because we've already seen Rosario Dawson playing that character, and she does a fantastic job. I thought that was I don't know, a bit of an abysmal trailer, to be fair. But yeah, scroll back down through this. Again, this whole, this is just there. I mean, it's just a whole lot of nonsense, basically. So we have comments like this, right? So Rachel Fulginity, a Star Wars fan from the US, agrees, but highlights the added focus on Katie Sackhoff's Bo-Katan. It just seems kind of all over the place. I think they could have just made it all about Bo-Katan. She's such a strong, interesting character. Indeed, the move away from Din and Grogu seems to have impressed more fans than it may have upset. I think Season 3 so far has been really, really good. Who cosplayed as a pilot from The Empire Strikes Back. I like it when things get padded out. What? It becomes more about the Mandalorian as a group of people who are trying to find their identity again. Oh my god. By the way, this is his 6th Star Wars celebration, so that says a lot. I think it's been just as good as the first and second series. Oh my god. I love the fact that it's all over the shop. It's basically, varieties like, fandoms are good when they lap up shit. It's great that it's just all over the place. They're trying new things and seeing what works. They're flinging shit at a wall and going, oh, what's going to stick? We're not just going, oh, look, there's a single dad with his child. What's wrong with that? Jesus. Honestly. And check this out. There hasn't been quite the buzz about it. This is all about Mandalorian. I haven't had to worry about spoilers each Wednesday. I think it's not focused on Mando and Grogu as much. And that was the thing that people loved about it. So, this whole article, how Rey's return and tired Mandalorian season riled up the fandom at Star Wars Celebration. But it's all framed. It is literally framed as, you're a good fan if you lap up crap. I mean, I've heard it all now. Your fandom's good if you lap up poo, is what they're saying. That's acceptable. Jesus. What is wrong with you, Variety? Anyway, like I said, it was only a matter of time. Get the same... You know, you can say that having a show not just about a single dad and his child is okay, but you can't be like, race swapping that character's not great. That's yeah, okay, sure. Good times, ladies and gents. This is what the mainstream media think of you. Goodness me.